Hi, this is Zak Mir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here on Share Talk for Tuesday, the 27th of October. Starting off with Ascent Resources, where we were looking for the shares to hit that line of resistance there from February, beginning of March, I suppose, at 8 pence. High of the day so far, actually 8 pence on the nose. Second gap higher today, which is the reason for the inclusion of the stock today rather than trying to show off. But an end-of-day close through 8 pence hopefully would allow a new leg to the upside up to that resistance line from February, currently pointing as high as 14 pence, and hopefully that could be hit as soon as the end of next month. At this stage, really only back below, I suppose, the first gap there, the low of the day there, around 5 pence, delaying the upside scenario, but hopefully there won't even be any price action back below 6 pence, the last peak for the shares of Ascent Resources. Braveheart, difficult to resist at the moment, partly because the shares nearly hit the target we had there, the rather ambitious target, 60 pence. High of the day so far, 59.3, so we're still looking for another go on that, the shares to make another attempt on that. I suppose maybe too early to go for a higher target at this stage, but we do go through 60 pence, probably the next level up from there would be around 85 or 90, but let's keep our feet on the ground at the moment. In terms of the downside, end of day close back below the high of yesterday at 45 pence, really the stop loss at the moment. Ideally be close above that 52 pence initial October peak to keep the bull run going for Braveheart. On to Blackbird, which is an encouraging looking situation at the moment, which we'll see in a second. The reason we've had quite a clear vertical breakout, I think there was a gap, or effectively a gap there last week to the upside. Multiple support points here above the 200-day moving average, suggesting that we've been going into a bull run. And really, at the moment, just a matter of trying to work out how high the shares could go after this breakout. And favoured destination at the moment, probably towards 30 pence, which is a sort of rather modest target, I suppose, but 30 pence a target while we hold above the initial September resistance at 22 pence. If you're looking a bit further down the line, probably up to this line here, which is heading towards the 35, 36 level that's from October last year. So for Blackbird, above 22, up to 30, and then 36 over the next month or so. Next stock, one where there's lots of noise on the stock on Twitter and other places. We had that little spike towards 40 pence last month and came back down to 20, which is a nice, neat 50% retracement. The plus points here at the moment, really the way that we've got the 50-day moving average rising very sharply. That's normally a leading indicator on an upside move. Really just waiting now on an end-of-day close above the initial October resistance at 28.5 pence. If we can get that, then we're looking towards 50 pence for Immedia, up to the top of that rising trend channel from the beginning of the year. Stop loss at the moment, ideally we get away with an end of day close back below 24, although obviously we've got that 20 pence low for October as the obvious choice there. On to a stock which has been one of the heroes of the last, it could be one of the heroes of the next few days, go it the right way around. i3 Energy here, the key has been the way that the shares have managed to find support at and above 4 pence over recent days. We had the full storm move through that resistance line there from August, which happened last week. This week it looks like we're well on our way. Obviously there are fundamental factors to take into account, but at end of day close above the 50-day moving average at 4.7 pence is what we're looking for here. If we can get that, then hopefully on this occasion there'll be further follow through up to 7 or 8 pence, which is post-May resistance for the shares. But the key here is really we're holding that support line there from September and the 4 pence level, above 4 pence, looking for 7 to 8 pence on i3 Energy. On to Jaywing, which is encouraging as well. Here we've got the shares gapping up through the 50-day moving average and then gapping up above the 200-day line at 3.18 pence. While we're above the 200-day line, looking forward to the top of that broadening triangle from December, currently pointing up to 7 pence. So that is a quite a decent setup for the shares. Stock which I've been meaning to look at over the recent past but never quite got round to is Cadence Minerals, and I think it's a good time now to look at the shares, if I can get the chart working. Here we've had the stock in a rising trend channel from April, the top of the channel there at 20 pence, and the upside valid while we hold above the 50-day moving average at 12.5 pence, but break of 20 pence could lead the shares up to 35 pence by the end of the year, which is an April resistance line projection. So above 12.5 up to 20 for Cadence, but big picture target as high as 35 pence. So no doubt cheer up some of the holders of the shares. Metals exploration could have been a one-day wonder, but luckily it wasn't. Almost had the low there where we wanted it, i.e. The stock finding support at old resistance, so 1.93, 1.94 the low of the day versus the 2 pence peak of February. But still, therefore, looking at a top of 2018 price channel target as high as 3.5 pence, while we hold above the 2 pence level. Another stock which I've been meaning to look at, but never quite rose enough, let's say, on any particular day. But clear breakout here through the August peak of 14 pence, and while we're above that, looking forward to a top of 2020 price channel target as high as 24 pence over the next month or so. Nice encouraging pattern there. At this stage, only really back below September resistance at 11.7 pence, really delaying the upside scenario. On to the stock of the moment by quite a mile, remote monitored systems. I think 24 hours ago the shares were at 1.1 pence, just hitting a resistance line from July last year, and suggestion was that we broke that, then we'd head up towards 1.8, 1.9 pence at a 2018 resistance line projection. Got a couple of more resistance lines to look at now. Obviously, we have one there from October 2018, heading for 3.8. Best case scenario target, which I think is the steepest that one can draw any resistance line here, would be 6 pence. But we really need to hold above 1.9 to 2 pence to maintain the upside argument here. Above 1.9, looking for a retest of 3.8. Pence over the next, well, hopefully for the next few days, given the way the shares are moving. The other big riser of the moment is Sareum, and here I think I had a rather ambitious target pointing at 4 pence over the weekend, or maybe just before the weekend. We've seen the shares bounce off the top of that rising trend channel from April around 1.7 pence. And while we're above the intraday low of the day, 1.65, looking for a retest, or at least a partial retest of the peak that we've had up to 3 pence today. But we do have a big picture target there, maybe over the next 1 to 2 months, as high as 4 pence, which is that March resistance line projection. So let's see what happens on that. But we need to hold that 1.65 in the meantime. Less dramatic, but stock which may be a new mover over the next few weeks is tissue Regenix. Here we finally had a breakout after a very long sideways churn, so 0.4 being the resistance line, being the resistance there for the stock, and hopefully an end of day close above that level today will see the shares start to move towards the top of that rising trend channel from May, currently pointing or implying a 0.75 pence target. Stop loss at the moment, 0.35 pence, which is the floor of the May trend channel. That's it for me today, and a marathon session. More updates tomorrow.